Nick Gubbins struck a double century as Middlesex avoided the follow-on at Lords in a game now almost guaranteed to be a draw. Lancashire's dominant display with the bat was placed in a bit more perspective on day 3 as Middlesex fought back well in reply to their visitors' first innings total of 513. Gubbins and Eskinazi were the men at the crease, the former already past the 50 mark, Eskinazi starting the day 7 shy of a maiden first-class half-century. He managed to bring it up with an edge, not a chance per se, but perhaps not the way he would have dreamt of this moment. A landmark innings all the same though, a maiden first-class 50 at Lords. Gubbins continued to press on, taking a liking to Parkinson that included a maximum straight out of the Happy Gilmore book of hitting. The pair batted on until lunch, seizing on the bad ball at every opportunity. Gubbins had been out 4 times in the 90s in the Championship and so was understandably nervous as he neared his century, and he did in fact spend half an hour just shy of the milestone before finally getting there. After the break, Eskinazi moved on to his ton. Not satisfied with a maiden first-class 50, the 22-year-old moved on to his 100 as Middlesex continued to dominate. However, with the partnership worth just over 200 runs, Eskinazi was finally dismissed, Smith with the catch off Jarvis for 106. Gubbins continued to press on though, and further boundaries nudged him up towards 150. His new partner, Milan, so impressive in the shorter forms of the game this season, was not able to keep the opener company for long, caught Smith off Wagner for 24. And then in the next over, Simpson was bowled by Ricky Clark for 1, making the score 309 for 4 and perhaps suggesting a mini collapse. However, the skipper Franklin and the immovable Gubbins then produced another big partnership to see Middlesex avoid the follow-on. Gubbins went past his 150, the first time he'd passed the mark in his first-class career, and he then pressed the accelerator. That included a number of boundaries and a couple of big sixes off first Clark and then the second off Parkinson. Franklin started to get in on the act, not hanging around as the clouds gathered overhead, and after adding 41 off 51 balls in a partnership of 95, he nicked off to Jarvis. They came off for a brief interval due to rain, but returned for enough time for Gubbins to get his maiden first-class double century. .419 for 5 the score at stumps. Middlesex 94 behind with 5 wickets still intact. 1 day left to play. The draw the likely result.